Hey, Ellie here, and today I'm sharing some great ideas to help with stress management. If you're after some stress relief tips that don't involve Netflix or shopping, then listen in. In this video, I'm being interviewed by Stephanie Perry from Compassionate Weight, which was part of an online summit where different health experts shared their thoughts on how to reduce stress in healthy ways. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell button so that you can get notified about more videos like these. I hope you enjoy these simple yet effective insights to stress management. I've even shared a little bit about my own journey with stress and recovery from burnout. I hope you find the video valuable and feel inspired to take action towards getting your own stress levels under control.
Welcome everybody, I'm Stephanie Perry, and this is Developing Our Stress Management Skills Beyond Food, Alcohol, Shopping, and Netflix. And today I have with me Ellie McGinnis. She's a holistic health and fitness coach. She's been helping people for over 20 years. She's a big believer in finding balance in all aspects of our life, health, work, relationships, and fitness, and just believes that's crucial in advancing your health and fitness results. So I would love to dive in and just have you introduce yourself, Ellie, and just say just a little bit about yourself, so your personal notes, so we can hear about your own journey.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me, Stephanie. And yeah, thanks for the introduction. You've already covered off a few things there. So, yeah, as you said, I've been helping people for 20 years, more than 20 years, makes me sound old, with their health and fitness. And I take a very holistic approach to doing that, which hasn't always been that way, but has evolved that way. So I began in fitness specifically, by doing a degree, a sort of extended sports science degree. And over time, my philosophy became more holistic when I just realized how essential that was. At first, sort of went into nutrition and then just got added to over time. So now I've got this philosophy that I use called the Holistic Health Highway, where I cover exercise, nutrition, stress, sleep, mindset, and relationships, because I've sort of identified those, I guess you could call them like my pillars, which I see as sort of like the key to success in health and fitness. And sort of, can transfer over to just general life as well. And over time, I've just learned to use more of a whole life approach. And by doing so, I realized that I can just help more people get to the root cause of their issues, because all of those areas are completely interwoven and inseparable. And, I talked to you a little bit briefly about this before. The media always focuses on exercise and nutrition, but I find that sometimes it's those tiny tweaks in other areas that can actually make the nutrition and exercise much easier, right. Rather than like what should I eat or when should I eat or anything like that. If we're talking about stress here today, you get your stress levels under control, then your body will just work and function more effectively. You'll be more likely to I guess have the energy to exercise, for example, and make better food choices. So I like to focus on those sort of less trendy areas, or the less popular areas, and I do that in my own life and with my clients as well.
Yeah, I love it. And actually, I'm going to ask you to kind of go into those little areas, because there's certain pillars that you have. What are they? Can you rattle them off for us? Or
I think I did already, but I can do that again.
Tell me again.
So exercise, nutrition, stress, sleep, mindset, and relationships.
Beautiful. Yeah. And then you actually had a situation in your life recently, before all the COVID started, where you had kind of a big disruption, and then I'm sure you had to lean into all those pillars as well. Do you want to share just a little bit about, and I'll give a little background, because a lot of people are going through disruption right now. With the COVID, we've got people's finances, and there's just a lot of upheaval. And I love, one of the reasons I'm talking to you today is because you did that before, before all the, and then have had a little time to kind of find your balance. So I'm just curious if you can share a little bit about that.
Yeah. So it was about 3.5 years ago was our big turning point. So I guess in the lead up to that, like just to give you a little bit background more about myself, is that I'm one of those go people who kind of thrives a little bit, naturally thrives on being busy, and I don't like stress, but there's a good level of stress sometimes because it helps you be motivated and get things done. And I have this kind of like natural motivation and energy, and I'm one of those people that want to experience a lot and do a lot, and make the most of my time on this planet in general. And when you overdo that, it can have pretty severe repercussions, especially like I know that I'm an adrenal type person, so my adrenal glands can get kind of overexcited, and then when you put something that's like really deeply stressful in with that as well, then it can have bad health consequences. So if you know anything about Ayurvedic medicine, like I'm a Vata type, like one of those sort of people. So I guess after we had our first child, so my older daughter, I'm only having two, that's enough. She is 6 now. So if I could describe our style of parenting in any one word, it would be intentional. Okay. And that's sort of like the same with the way that we live our life, my partner and I, the way we live our lives. And we wanted to be very intentional in the way that we parented right from the start. And part of that was like from the beginning, we made the decision that we would be homeschooling our daughter, which is later turned into unschooling. But we decided that we wanted to be the people that spend, the most time with her as she's growing up. And there were repercussions of that because we had to then think of ways to do our business differently. We couldn't I was a personal trainer, and I would spend a lot of time with clients, preparing for sessions, supporting them outside, and it was all required me to be there in a physical sense. So when she was 1.5, we found this, what we thought was a great business opportunity, and it was totally in line with my passion. So it was an organic fruit and vegetable delivery service, and my partner has a business background, a very strong business background, and together our skills, we thought, were just perfect for this venture. And we did all our research and everything, and the short story is that it bombed completely. So we invested a lot into that. So we got to a point where we were like, this is really hard, we're working too much, we're we realized we've got to get this off the ground. But there comes a point where, like, how long can you do this for? This is taking us, this is exactly what we didn't want. This is meant to be a lifestyle business. We realized that you got to put in the hard yards to get it to a certain point, but I guess we underestimated the level of investment that it needed, and that maybe we're from New Zealand, maybe the New Zealand population wasn't quite ready for understanding the importance of organic fruit and veggie delivery. And we were competing with supermarkets, which we couldn't do. We couldn't put in enough investment. And so we got to the point where we were like, no, we want to keep going. And so we're willing to lose our house, and we did lose our house, and later our rental as well. And then we just got to that point where we were like, the business is closing this week. We've put our heart and soul into it. And so that's basically where the story starts, that maybe we'll talk a bit about.
So how did you use, so you have this pathway, this highway to health. Am I saying that correctly? Highway to health.
The holistic health highway.
The holistic health highway. I love it.
Yeah.
So you had this situation where it was an upheaval. You invested so much and hopes and dreams. I mean, we just tie in so much when it comes to like trying to set up a business, and it didn't work out. How did you kind of reach in and use those pillars to help you and your family get back into a balance?
So we took some extreme measures, and I feel like what we went through 3.5 years ago is what many people around the world might be going through something similar now. People have lost jobs, or just have all that financial uncertainty, or have taken a big financial hit. And that's extremely stressful. And I mean, the thing is that my partner and I were both very badly burnt out by then, and that was a really bad thing for me, because there was such a disconnect with that, with me being a health coach and already a holistic health person, that I knew that I was in the kind of like depths of adrenal fatigue. So when you get into the depths of adrenal fatigue, you don't just recover quickly. Okay, so for us it was, like I had the baby, and I went through some postnatal depression, and so it wasn't like it just happened because bam, the business failed. Like, that was over a period of 18 months, and the 18 months before that I had become a mum for the first time, and I was really having some trouble adjusting to that, and what the future of my business would look like, and my life in general. I was also getting like quite sort of clear ideas on what parenting was to me, and realizing that a lot of my friends who I used to hang out with, maybe we were going in different pathways, as maybe you can relate, you're a mum as well. And sometimes I guess my views on life were still evolving. And so I knew that I was very, very adrenally fatigued, and I was not going to recover quickly. And both my partner and I loved traveling, and had both traveled extensively, or especially me in my 20s, and got to that point, like having kids and going, oh, we're not going to travel for ages. Like, how would that even work? Or we need to have like a lot of money in the bank to do that, or whatever. Whereas we got to that point where like, okay, we got to sell our houses, and we've got to start again. This is the perfect time for traveling, because it's we could go to countries that were a lot cheaper for living, and we could allow ourselves time to recover. So
this is pre-COVID.
This is way pre-COVID. We still travel full time, but this is way. So I guess at that point we had to change our lives. We were in such a bad like stress position, as in the severe adrenal fatigue, that we had to. We created a whole new lifestyle, because going fast, keeping up with the Joneses, not that we were never really into that, but being in a rat race, that was not ever going to recover me from adrenal fatigue. Like, we had to step back and do something a lot slower, which for us was the slow travel lifestyle.
Okay.
So
let me ask a question, because I'm sure a lot of us would love to sell everything or move, or maybe not sell everything, but travel, which is not really an option right now for where we are in this period of time. We're kind of, but what is some of your takeaways that maybe somebody listening to your story, it's like, I'm in financial distress. I'm in, I'm a mom with kids, or whatever, whatever the story that they might be in this moment, they're identifying with your story. What about the slowing down can they take away? Like, how can you speak to that in their stress, and what they can use?
Yeah, I guess, the position that everyone around the world is in at the moment is going back to what they're saying is a new normal, or whatever, and deciding the things that you're going to keep in your life, and the things that maybe you're going to say no to. Like, for some people, they're feeling stress, like having maybe the kids are going back to school now, or and it's like a new adjustment to get used to. And hopefully over this time, like, there's been a lot of time to have time for thinking, and think about the things that like that you want to keep in your life. Think about the things that you want to say no to, because I mean, for us with 2 young children, we have a 1-year-old and a 6-year-old, we have to think more about what we say no to than what we say yes to. And we've said yes, we still intend to do this slow travel lifestyle. We've said no to a lot of other things along the way, and that allows us to I mean, we've always said that we're like the create your own destiny type people. So we've always worked for ourselves, and we like, and this was an important part of our recovery too, not having to get up for alarms and things like that. So we're quite often in bed. Kids are in bed too, they go to bed late, so we might not get up till 9 o'clock or so some days, you know, and we don't have to. We can sort of, I guess, we've just said no to the rat race and no to a lot of things. So I guess as you're going back into this new normal, think about the things that are not serving, you know, whether that's a stressful relationship or whether it's like rushing the kids off to 10 activities that they have to do in the week or whatever. Or, you know, whether you've found ways to, I guess, slow down together at home and then enjoy maybe some of the things that you forgot that you used to enjoy.
What I'm hearing from your story, Ellie, is that this time, although stressful and a lot of upheaval, you have found ways to shift your life into more balance, ways that will serve you better. So do you feel like you've come out of it stronger? And what would you give somebody as a takeaway for what's on the other side?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I said we're like life by design sort of people. So we think very carefully about how we live our life. And yeah, absolutely. If you pay attention to what you want and what you need, you are going to come out better and stronger. And I think you got to take a look at a lot of different areas in your life too, though, and find ways. I mean, I think we're going to talk about exercise and things like that.
But let's wrap it up with your method. So following your pillars. So sum up with that and share a little bit more about that.
Okay, so for stress management.
So your pillars are nutrition, exercise. I'm sorry, I don't have them memorized and I'm not reading them off. So
stress, sleep, mindset, and relationships. So I don't know. Let's just talk about exercise, because I know that things like high intensity training, really, really trendy, loads of health benefits. For someone who's highly stressed, and especially chronically stressed, that is not always a great choice in exercise, okay, because exercise is a stress on the body, and if you add that to an already stressed body, then you may find that I don't know, little health niggles, or you're going to get run down, or, you know, everyone's got their sort of first line of defense, I think, when it comes to stress. You know, some people get cold sores. That's a real common sort of stress one. For me, I know that my digestion doesn't work as well. I get sort of like bloating and stuff, or my back, I get some lower back pain, so that would get worse if I was stressed.
So this is great. What would you recommend from a physical fitness, that is your background? What would you recommend for somebody who's in maybe a high stress or a low grade but kind of constant stress? What should they do from a physical fitness point of view?
Reconsider that high intensity training and any type of training that is going to cause you several days to recover, okay? Because if your body is trying to repair muscle tissue, and I mean, you've got to be extra good with nutrition, and you know, then there's a virus in the air or something, you're way more likely to get run down with that. So the things that I focus on with exercise is, number one, fun. Okay, so this is a general like tip in everyday life for stress, as well as like finding things that you can do that are fun for you. So some people find, I don't know, you want to get away from Netflix, anything that is like, it gives you a belly laugh, or and the same with exercise. Find things that are fun. So for example, at the moment, my daughter and I are doing acro yoga, and that is for the number one reason. We're just teaching ourselves, and that's the number one reason, is that it's fun. It makes me smile. It makes us laugh. And at the same time, it's something we can do together. When this whole COVID thing started, I was also doing like some dance workouts on YouTube. And so that was that was my way of going, okay, like, don't let the stress get to you. First of all, switch off the media and social media, and then get your YouTube on. And there's so many fun dance workouts on there that will release, I guess, endorphins. You're looking for a good endorphin release, which you would get from a really high intensity workout, but in a safer way. And then the other side of it, apart from fun, is relaxing. Okay, so more relaxing forms of exercise. So that's like your gentle yoga, like restorative yoga, yin yoga, not power yoga, ideally. I mean, some people will do that and be like, oh, okay, it relaxes me, and that's fine if you're used to doing it. But if that's like you're starting that for a new thing because you think that's relaxing, you might find that you need quite a lot of recovery from something like that. So anything that's sort of breath focused, I guess, is essential for getting you into the parasympathetic nervous system, getting you out of that fright and flight mode that high intensity would get you into.
Oh,
relaxing and fun.
I love it, Ellie. So using this, I'm summing up kind of what I've heard from you, using this time to reevaluate and find what gives you balance, what are your values and how to step into those, maybe stepping off of the out of the rat race. And then also with the exercise, I love it. I love that you're like, take it easy. Maybe it's not the time to get into the high intensity, because I think a lot of people are well, I have more time, let me just power through this and really kind of like take on.
I know like in your business you cover sort of like the things that the emotional weight gain side of things, and stress is one part of that as well.
Okay.
And with weight loss, like the magic happens when you're actually like well rested. So like when we sleep at night, that's when our muscles are actually growing and things. And it's the same with weight loss, is like getting into that parasympathetic nervous system. So it's got more benefits than just making you feel better or improving your health overall. Like it's got a knock-on effect to so many different areas.
Yeah. Okay. Well, very encouraging. Is there, I know that you have something you want to share with us. So because we're linking a gift from everybody. And so if you want to just mention that, and then so people know what they have, they can link to you.
Sure. Well, I mean, I'd be happy to offer a free chat to anybody who wants to continue this conversation. So I could leave you the link to my calendar if you like.
Yeah, and we'll have a link to that attached to the video.
So they can ask me anything that's on their mind about their health and fitness, or managing stress or situation. Even if you want to chat about our location independent lifestyle, anything, because that's although people out there might not be planning to have a slow travel lifestyle, they might be looking for ways to work from home, for example, further down the track, not in this just immediate aftermath. So I'd be happy to talk about our experience with that as well.
Yeah. Well, lovely. Do you have any final words of like to leave people with? And then
maybe just one other small technique I want to mention, just because it's something so simple that people can do that's often forgotten, and that's just breathing. We just talked about the exercise and getting into, and I sort of mentioned breath focus work. So that's like your yoga, Tai Chi, Pilates and things. But even just breathing, because we quite often forget how to do that when we're stressed, and we start breathing in the top part of the chest, and that pushes you into that sympathetic, that fight or flight nervous system. So just stopping to take 10 deep breaths, which sounds like so easy, and it really is. Placing your hand on your belly, breathing in and feeling your belly expand, that's what we call a belly breath. And then breathing all the way out, that can be enough just to bring you out of that really strong stress state, even if it's just momentarily for a while, or just help you, I don't know, just rejig things a little bit. Yeah, and I'd say also at the moment it's really important to switch off media and social media. Uh, people get very addicted to it, and that is like, for many people, it's one of the worst things that is fueling their stress at the moment. So really just focus like on what's actually going on in your world. Like if you've lost your job, or you've had a big financial hit already, like, yeah, those are big things to focus on. So feel the feels. But if you're just looking at the media and it's like, oh, this is going to happen in the future, like for me in the travel community, I'm seeing a lot, even in the normally very level-headed travel community, it's like travel's never going to be the same, and we're going to be stuck here forever, or we're going to, like, worry about things when they actually happen. So focus on what's happening now, not in someone else's life or whatever. Just, yeah, it can just sometimes be like, actually, I'm all right here and now. The future maybe is uncertain, but let's just take that one step at a time and focus on what's going on now.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Well, that's a wonderful place to close. Thank you so much for joining me and being on this the summit. I look forward to seeing how our lives might cross someday. And but this is, for everybody, again, this is Ellie McGinnis, and she's a holistic health coach, and you've given us nice words of hope, and I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Stephanie.
Thank you. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
I hope you got some valuable insights and tips about stress management from the interview. If you'd like support and accountability for getting your own stress levels under control, please reach out. I'm a holistic health and fitness coach with 20 years of industry experience, and I'm here to help. Stress is one of the foundational pillars that I can help you work on as part of your journey towards a fitter, healthier lifestyle. I'll link to my website and others social platforms in the description down below, or you can get to my website from the end screen on this video. Thanks for watching, and remember to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell button so that you get notified about more holistic health and fitness videos.